my channel. Today I wanted to take the time to share with you guys the best series I read so far this year, hands down. And I read a lot of 5 stars, but I think of all of the 5-star books I read this year, this one, it was literally at the top, at the very top. So far this year, I somehow accomplished reading 22 books. And for me, that's a big deal because I couldn't even reach my goal last year, which I believe was like 20 books. I don't know what I was doing, but I didn't have the time to do it and I failed at my goal, which is fine. That's why there's always the next year, right? So this year I made my goal about, I want to say it's at, well, let's check. It's at 30. Okay, this year it's at 30 because I was like, I didn't meet my goal last year, so I'm just gonna bump it up and hope that I meet it this year. Of all the books I read, the series that stood out to me is A House of Beating Wings by Olivia Waldenstein. That series was phenomenal, but mostly because it had me in my feels the entire time. So the important thing to note about this series is it's set in a world where there's tiers to the species. First, obviously there's the Fae. Then under them are the Halflings, which is the main character. She's considered a Halfling because she's Fae and she's human. And then beneath them, I know, are the humans. And honestly, they're in the trenches, like they're slumming it, like it's crazy. But anyway, that's the tier system. That's where all of this is taking place. So we're following this girl named Fallon, who again is a Halfling, and the first part of the book is so annoying and I almost put it down. But literally everyone who's ever reviewed this book has said to push through because I feel like there's a meaning behind her being so childish and writing childishly in an annoying way, if that makes sense. Or does it? Anywho, and it's just following, okay, let me take it back. What I mean by childish is she has this best friend who is a prince. He is Prince of Fae. He is seen as like the purebred. He is next in line. He's basically that dude, okay? He's that dude. What's childish about this is their relationship. She's known him all her life, but he's been away for like 5 years or maybe more. I don't remember the exact number, but he's been away for a while, okay? To where the last time they saw each other is when they were kids and they shared a kiss. Now all of a sudden she thinks because they kissed they're supposed to get married, and I think that it just stuck with me because I'm just like, in what world? In what world? And then the other thing is she was just describing like, oh, he's so great, he's so this. Girl, he has box braids. A man with box braids can't be trusted. Like they always got this like fuckboy energy. I don't know what it is, but every experience I've ever had, a man with box braids has fuckboy energy, and that's all I'm gonna say. But that's who she wanna love. That's her man, my man. So I'm gonna let it be. Anywho, so it's basically her following him around, hoping that he'll fall for her. And that immaturity kind of annoyed me because I'm like, girl, I'm somebody who loves like reading books that aren't like following a main character who's a damsel in distress. That irks me to no end. So if you don't like that, push through because it gets better. So then after that, you know, she got that whole thing going, but the overarching thing here is that there's this oracle who comes up out of nowhere, child, and she gives her this prophecy, and it's basically like, you're gonna be queen. And to her, she only knows one prince, so she's like, oh my god, he's gonna be with me, he's gonna be with me, my man, oh my god. So it's all about that, and I think that's the immaturity part of it. But once she gets that, obviously when an oracle tells you something, it's never what you think. So I start to think one thing and it pivots to the other end, and it's fucking wild. I also love the book because of that. I laughed, I was annoyed as fuck, and I honestly gasped. And it takes a lot to make me gasp. Like it really does. This Chamberlain coffee, child, it tastes like French toast. No, it tastes like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And it doesn't taste anything like chai, but it's really good. If that's your vibe. Let's keep going. So if you like to be shocked, like if you've read Sarah J Maas's A Court of Thorns and Roses and you like to be shocked, you like to be head first for somebody and find out that you were wrong all along, and that happens multiple times in this book, and that's why I love it so much. I will say the third one isn't out yet, so that kind of sucks, but anywho, that comes out next month. The other part of this book that I really love is not only do we think she's in love with one person, but we think she's in love with another, and we think the guy is this guy, and we think her king, like, we never know. And I love the plot twist of the whole crow aspect, because again, it's not just fae and humans who live in this world. There's other creatures, but there's creatures of the sea that they don't trust. There's creatures of the sky that they don't trust. Like, if you're not fae, you're not shit, basically, is how this book goes. And it's very interesting to see her dynamic, because she lives with her mother and her grandmother. And her mother, here's the tea, her mother has been in this daze where she's, how I imagined it is she'd just be like this all day, but like less attitude. Because her mental is messed up. She can't communicate. She does communicate, but in riddles. And honestly, if you read this book, please pay attention to what the mom is saying, because I went back and was like, damn, this author really did her thing. She was giving us something. She was giving us something. But the other great thing that makes me like feel like this was top tier of all the 22 books I read is the love interest. I've never in my life loved the man more than the female lead in the book. Like, never in my life. In this book, I personally want to marry him. And I'm not gonna say his name because that's the one thing I don't want to give away. I feel like that was the best part of this book, is finding out who her man is, because we go through a few of them. We go through a few. So when we find out who he is, that's very exciting. But I literally love the shit out of this character. Like, I will ride for him when she does stuff. And you know, when you're reading books and there's that tension and you're like, the character is like, the female character is like, how could you do this to me? Our love is not gonna be the same. And she's all mad and shit. But in this book, I'm just like, girl, bye, stop it right now, because I will take your man. And he's fictional. But I just be like, get your acts together, because another one could take him. Like, I really think he's too good for her. Never in my life have I ever felt that the male lead was too good. I've always thought they were like perfect for each other. They balance each other out. No. And again, the third book isn't out yet, so you never know. So her man is my man. I'm invested. I want nothing but the best for him. And I hope that every journey he goes on is, you know, simple, easy, nice weather. I hope that every battle he is in, he wins. No bruises, no trauma. I hope that every wish he ever wants just becomes his command, and it's just there, because that's how amazing, like, Olivia Wildenstein really outdid herself with this male character. Like, I literally can't, like, if you don't read it for the interest of the fucking book, just read it just to get to that guy once you find him. So basically, she starts to grow. I know I mentioned early on there's that immaturity. It does end because it's more than just that oracle telling her, oh, you're gonna become queen one day. There's more to the story. A lot unravels to where she ends up being on this journey with the male, well, there's a lot of male interest, but the main one basically. And from there, everything gets good. Well, once you meet the crow, let me just say that, because again, I don't want to spill too much because I want you to experience it. That's how amazing this book is. But once you get to the crow, that's when stuff like starts going crazy. All this shit starts happening. She starts to steal from one of her close friends. He's like fae, and she needs a crow. She's supposed to collect these crows so that she can free the main crow. And in order to do that, she has to go to her friends, one of her friends' palaces. He has like a lot of big houses or whatever, to steal something. And she steals it from him, lies to him about it, the whole issue, because she thinks, oh, I just want to see, like, I'm curious. But she steals from her friend. Like, girl. The biggest part here that shows the immaturity but also growth is as she goes throughout this world and travels and steps outside of her box, she starts to learn more. Just like with reality, right? Like if you stay stuck in one place with the same type of friends, with the same type of backgrounds, you're not gonna grow, you're not gonna learn, you're not gonna be molded into a better person. But I feel like every experience she goes through, she grows the fuck up, which I think is so fucking necessary if she's gonna be good for my man. Just saying. Just saying. On top of that, I think that's it. I feel like the man is like the best part. Yeah, so that's the first book. The first book is her being childish, thinking she likes this guy, trying to fool around with this one, and then it's just you're all okay, that part's not childish, but I think just she's annoying. I said it. Then, you know, after that, it gets way better. And I don't know how to tell a review without spilling all the information, but just know it's enticing as fuck. You get to see character growth, you get to see political intrigue. There's a lot of drama going on between Faye and between the humans, which, by the way, let's get back to this little boy who is a prince that she's like obsessed with. I hated him from the jump. Let's list his red flags. The first one is that he fucking had box braids. When she said that, I was like, okay, fine, you know, people's taste, but it's giving fuckboy. 2, he invites her to this ball, but like goes to the brothel where she works. She doesn't like to call it a brothel, but girl, that's a brothel that serves food, but she want to be like, oh, it's a tavern, it's a brothel. And I think that's the funny part about it all, because that shows her immaturity as well. But he invites her to this ball, which is like, if he invites you, that means he wants to choose you to be his wife, to therefore be queen. And she's thinking, oh, he did it because he likes me, he loves me, da da da. Meanwhile, this boy barely talks to her, so are they even friends? But anyway, so he invites her there, and it's giving all of these different kind of insinuations and all that stuff. But her homegirl at the brothel told her that, you know, like, are you good? Because he keeps paying me, if you catch your vibe, he keeps paying me for a good time. So it's just like, that was the next red flag. It's just like, if he gave a shit about you or actually cared for you, he wouldn't be doing that. Oh, and another thing that he did, see, this is the drama. It's giving reality show. If you like reality TV and you also like Faye storytellings and you like the whole political intrigue stuff, you'll love this. But the other red flag was that he finally found a way to get the idiot girl, the main character, to, you know, have SCX with him. And I think that's where I got annoyed, because he took her to like this, they had tents up because he's like over the army, because he's not the oldest son, he's the youngest, so he has to run the army. Somehow he's still gonna be king anyway. So he takes her to the tent and tries to have sex with her there, and tries and succeeds. And then he's like, okay, well, bye. Okay, bye. Okay, bye. Well, I got somewhere to be. Fuck boy, you're not supposed to be with him. But she's still gonna be like all over him, and I'm just like, I just hate seeing that kind of shit. I think it's toxic. I think you don't care about yourself. You don't care about nobody else either, because why would you do it in the tent right beside another tent and another tent on the other side and the back side and the front? Like, stupid. Everybody saw her leave, do the walk of shame, but everybody also probably thinks she's a hoe too, because at the end of the day, he'd be at the brothel paying these girls to have sex with him. And you just did it for free. She did it for free. She didn't even get a ring out of it, like nothing. Like, oh, if y'all read this, just know that Prince get on my nerves, and I just want him to get his ass beat. But at the end, y'all get this Chamberlain crop, be sure to blend the fucking shit out of it, because damn. But anyways, yeah, so I just hate his guts too, and I think that kept me involved in the book in every aspect, because I want to see his demise. He ain't shit, and he really tried to play a girl. Again, she annoys the shit out of me, but she didn't even deserve that. No woman deserves that shit. Like, he was dragging her along. Y'all, you just gotta read it to watch him drag her along like a rag doll. Like, cause what was she doing? What was she doing? And then she got the nerve to disrespect my mans. This author is really great at writing characters because the man that I love, who I will marry, you can tell the clear difference between those two characters. Like, he gives man energy. Like, I will leave you feeling secure. I will leave you feeling safe. I will never have you questioning anything. And, you know, I will always be there for you. And I love you unconditionally. I'm steadfast. Don't play with me. Like, he has that energy. And this other boy, that little boy over there was like, oh, I mean, I'll kiss you every now and then, you know, to keep you along, but there's some other bitches out the way that, like, I'm gonna get with. And then he was lying to her face about it. I'm like, you a prince, do you, boo? Just don't lie about it. There's this other guy, too. He was kind of like, he's a hoe. He's known as a hoe. And he was trying to take her seriously, but she was like, but you're a hoe. And I'm just like, girl, but you stupid. But he actually seemed like a good dude until he showed his ass. Once he found out that the oracle, gave her that prophecy, because he knows more about everything. Because let me back it up. So this guy, he works on a boat. I don't remember his name, child, but this guy, he works on a boat at the sea, and the sea is what separates the Fae world from the humans in the trenches. Okay, like, they in the trenches. He does business on the sea, basically drug dealing. And he's the cool dude. He know how to mind his business. Shut his mouth, and make a deal happen. Cool dude, from what I read. He seemed cool. Like, I really liked him. But he showed his ass, and he's very weak and very insecure and very jealous. And I'm just like, ugh. But I still wanted to ship them. But long and behold, there was somebody else. So anyway, this book is basically, well, the series is basically, well, the first one is drama, like reality TV drama, scandal, secrets, fuckboys, dumb decisions. And the second book is growing from all of that, like learning what the secrets are, trying to figure out how to overcome those secrets, and learning how to, you know, take back a kingdom, and learning to realize that this dude is a fuckboy and he's been playing you this whole time. He thinks you're trash and he was trying to use you. But lucky you ran into my man, so he couldn't use you, and you good now because he got your back. Anywho, the second one is just finding out information and trying to rectify, but also realizing the truth and who you should really be with, and learning that it's okay to mourn somebody who's still alive, but just know that you should move on. Like, there's so many deeper meanings in this book, which is why I like it. And I love her best friends. It was just a good vibe. The first and second book is just her navigating the Fae world and realizing that not your enemy can be the person you've known all your life, and the person you've known all your life cannot be who they were or who you thought they were your whole life. Yeah, so of the 22 books, this was my favorite. It kept me on edge, and I don't know, it's also on Kindle Unlimited, I believe, still for free. Well, not really, but you know what I'm trying to say. If you have Kindle Unlimited, definitely check this series out because it's really, really good. I love the drama. I love the bullshit. I love how I used to be so annoyed at her. Like, I almost threw my Kindle, but I was like, girl, don't make me throw this Kindle, your dumb ass. Like, I'm tired. But there was moments where I laughed, I giggled, I was like, oh, like a lot. And you will get over that cheesiness part, and then once you get to the second book, you're like, wow, she's grown, but she's not quite there yet. It'll leave you eager for the third one. She also gets to learn a lot about her heritage, because, you know, she thinks she's Fae and human, but she's not. Anyway, that was all over the place. But basically, so far, 5 months in to this year, and of all the 22 books, most of them were 5-star, but literally A House of Beating Wings by Olivia Wildenstein took the cake. It's literally the best series I've read this year, probably in a while, but I'm not gonna say that for sure because the third one doesn't come out until next month, so I'll be the judge of that. And I read it on Kindle Unlimited, but it was so good, you guys, that I'm gonna buy it. Like, I'm waiting for the third one to be released, and I'm just gonna buy the whole set reread so I can remember what went down, and then start the third one. So anyways, if you are into fantasy, political intrigue, has fuckboys in it, a lot of love interest, like going on dates, meeting these different people, these different creatures, if you're into that kind of energy, definitely read it. It's also for adults, so I'm just gonna say that. But also, because it's for adults, I will say it's spicy, but it's not porny. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of plot in here, and I think I appreciated that. Like, there was more plot and storytelling than there was sex, and I appreciated that. If it's a book, I want to read a story. Like, we don't need to do all that. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, this is truly the end now. I hope that I explained this enough and it was enticing to you and you want to pick up this book, because it truly was amazing. I enjoyed it. I gave book 1 and 2 5-star, even though book 1 is rocky in the beginning. Push through, because it really gets better, and it became a 5-star for me. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you check out this series, preferably before it is released June 23rd. I'm promoting it like it's my series. It's ridiculous. But anyway, thank you for watching, and if you've read it, let me know your thoughts. Do you think Fallon, the main character, is annoying as hell, and are you also in love with her man? Because I think I'm in love with him more than she is. Like, what? Anyway, okay, bye.